Hi, Davi here, and today we have a new episode in the art review series, and today we'll be checking out the work of Jae Lee. And I'm gonna be focusing more on the inks. And by the way, this guy, Jae Lee does have, I think, two major ways of inking. His most recent work tends to be a bit more brushy. Let me find. Oh shit! It's kind of like this, where you do see a bit more of the brushstrokes. Sometimes he'll add in some grays. I'm not sure how he does the grays. Maybe it's pencil. I have seen him use the side of the pencil to add in those midtones, those gray tones. But for the inks, he likes to use this sort of brush. You'll see it in a lot of his demo videos where he does sketches for these, in these comic book or comic conventions and stuff. This is sort of his latest style, but I did find out this guy first by a different style, and I would recommend the video by Richard Friend. He did an art review of Jae Lee. It's kind of an old work of Jae Lee, and you can tell the style is a bit different. Let me just show you. It's kind of like this. Can we zoom in? We can. If you look at the inks, they're not brushy. They almost look like it was done with a lasso fill tool because it's so refined, I would say. Right? If you look at the shadows, definitely, there's almost like a fluid edge to the inks, or to those really bold black spots or shapes. And again, I'm going to be focusing more on the inks. Look at the way the cape is done and the planes, right? Focus more on the shadows because that's really where you can find. Let me find a black and white sort of a. If you look at Captain America here and this random, oh yeah, it's kind of hot. This chick, look at the way the edges are done. It's so clean, which is funny because this was done manually, but it looks like it was done with a lasso fill tool. So. Like the environment, any kind of environmental element or the main characters, they're all rendered in the same way, specifically in regards to the inks, the black sort of inks. And you will see some lines here and there, obviously, but they're actually kind of thin. It doesn't look like they have any line weight at all. It's very minimal. I think the thing that really carries it is these sort of really large, sort of sporadic, black-like shapes. Right? So I will link some of these pages in the description below. But yeah, more recently he has been doing more of this. Let me just find a different one here. Look at this. Right? Oh yeah. It's so brushy. It's quite different from his past work, but I think he really likes to use a lot. Like his drawings do carry a lot of black. I don't see a lot of minimal sort of ink work where it's just like lines or something. It's more just heavy on the blacks, right? And the contrast is pretty strong. And I do recommend. I did find a few videos of him again doing these sorts of things live, and he's very. I guess he's a master at what he does because it's so nice to look at. And I do really like this look, this brushy look. It's a bit more painterly, which is interesting because oftentimes when you think of comic book ink work, it's a bit more kind of like this. It's kind of like tight. Well, this one's not too tight. But it's almost like there's a playfulness when he does this kind of thing. Because you can see the brush strokes, the brush marks, and it's not always filled up. There's sort of a dry element to it sometimes where the ink is being sort of smeared or spread out, right? Let me find something. Oh shit. Is this? I'm not sure who this is, but I do see again that mid-tone, and I do think again he uses the side of his pencil to add those gray midtones. He'll do the inks first, and then obviously he'll add in those gray midtones. Now some people may not like it because it's a bit messy, but I do like it. It has like a very strong appeal, and there's an energy to it. I mean, yeah, these things are cool too. Let me just show you. Like these are some of the G.I. Joe Transformers work of his. It's a bit tight, sure, and maybe it looks a bit too finished. And I do understand why like the energy doesn't seem as strong when it's rendered this way, because you don't see a lot of the brushwork, and it doesn't look like a sketch at all. It's like a finished thing, even in this stage without the colors, just the inks. Again, look at those edges of these shadows. It looks like it was done with a lasso fill tool, and again, it's very clean, very fluid. There's no like incomplete anything, and it's quite the contrast to his more this one does have some color, his more brushy work. These are some of his kind of like this, right? This one, it looks like it belongs in a like a xenomorph sort of alien kind of world, right? She's hot. So this one is definitely his more recent stuff. I like both, because obviously I have been getting more into using the lasso fill tool, but also I'm kind of an impressionistic, sketchy kind of guy. So like these types of things, even though it's like a quick sketch, I mean, look at the power, right? Oh god. I mean, he will do like a quick layout with pencil, and then he'll add in the inks after. Look at how playful it looks, but it's not just playful, but it's very energetic. He does also this kind of style where there's a bit of color. I'm not sure if he does the color here, but I think it's Jun Chung again. But this type, it's kind of a mix of both. You do see those brush marks, but they're not as like playful or not as sort of wild. They're a bit more refined. So it's kind of mixing the brushy work, like his recent style, with a more like refined lasso look, which is more common in his previous past work. Right? Oh, I forgot this guy's name. He's kind of a demon, right? Where he was burned or something. Oh, Spawn. Jesus. I saw like an anime or a cartoon of it before. Really cool concept. And I like the look of it. Right? Look at those hands, right? I love it. It's so sexy. And I think the midtones, those gray sort of midtones are the right. It's kind of like the right final thing to do. Right? He really likes to go in deep and just really show off those black strokes. My god. And the way he fades it out, and you can see those kind of dry edges. Oh my god. And he's doing this traditionally too, so even more impressive. Right? Way more energetic, definitely. Now you can mix both, but I do have a slight lean, I guess, towards this a bit more. But again, I still like the lasso sort of clean, rendered look. What's common with both is there's a lot of black being used. Like deep black marks. Look at that. Oh, reminds me a bit of John. What's his name? Buscema. He's an old school like comic book artist, one of the classic ones. He also likes. I prefer his like more brushier work as well. He's not as brushy as say Jae Lee, but it has the same vibe. It has the same sort of playful vibe. Wait, let's look at this first. She looks kind of hot. Right? Oh shit, his head is like cut off. Violence. So this is the Thor chick, or the bad chick. I forgot her name, but she's hot. Again, showing off those black strokes. and not shying away from it. This one is the Daredevil, right? It's so interesting how he does these little marks. And I've seen him use like a very thin brush to do these sort of really thin lines. I haven't really seen him use the fine point pen as much in a lot of like recordings of him like drawing this sort of thing. It's mainly just the brushes. Nice dog. Woof. So this is Hellboy. Now this one doesn't have as much black. You do see it in his like block or stone arm. Same thing for Wonder Woman over here. The hair obviously, but the body is very minimalistic. These types of drawings are more striking, like this bunch of black shapes against white. And I like how he's very, like a lot of comic book artists, they're very smart when it comes to knowing when to leave out. Like they know when to not touch the white, right? I mean, they can always like bring this ink to work into Photoshop and add the whites later to fix things, but like beforehand, they can solve a lot of the problems in this stage where they just know when to stop inking, right? Oh god. Damn, those lips are enough. Let me just see a few more. Oh shit, so this is Wolverine versus Batman. So I think Batman took Wolverine's arm and punched him in the face with it. Stabbed him in the face with it. Kinda mean. Ugh. I love the balance of everything, right? And there is variety here. Maybe it's the thickness of the brush, right? Very thin brush lines here to indicate some like forearm hair. And look at how you can see the brush marks sort of fade out here. But it's almost like one solid shape. Very thin line here for the shoulder to indicate like the deltoid. Ugh. So let's watch. Oh, Deadpool. I like this one. Very playful. And I love how he was able to capture the expression of Deadpool. So he's being shot in the head, but obviously Deadpool will survive, right? Oh my god, look at how I like this look. It's very playful. And I do like it when there's way more black than say white in the character. I think it works best if it's not as minimalistic. And you want to be a bit more wild with your brushstrokes. So let's just see a few videos here. That's not him, by the way, but I think he's recording the Jae Lee. So I think he's doing like request videos of Jae Lee to like draw. Now obviously you're seeing it in reverse because you know Jae Lee's kind of on the outer side of the table, but you'll see him a lot use these brushes only and not really the fine sort of pens. Very interesting. So he does do a quick pencil layout in the beginning and then he'll spend his time rendering this thing in ink. And it's so fascinating being able to be consistent with like the inks, because you do have to keep dipping your brush with obviously ink, right? So again, you can see the loose, almost scribbly like pencil marks, and then he'll drop in those beautiful brush strokes. Oh my god. And I think with one brush you can achieve like a lot of line weight variety. Obviously, the lighter you press, the thinner the line, the heavier you press, the bigger and thicker the ink mark is going to be. And And he does get a bit more wild the further he goes away from the face. I mean, it makes sense because obviously the face is what you look at first. Right, look at, right now you can see him using the side of his pencil to add those gray midtones. It really works well to sort of balance the white and the black, to sort of let the two meet cohesively. Ooh. This one's an older one, you can tell because of the video quality. Ooh. It's a bit, what is it, 4080 for 80p. But look at those deep, like, oh. Now he's using more of a flat brush here, or a really thick brush. Look at that, some bitch. Oh my god. I will link all of this, by the way, in the description below. So this one is from the Vancouver Sun. Oh, by the way, he was asked here if he had any kind of Asian influences, and he mentioned he doesn't have any. Like he was, his main influence is like Western artists, which is really funny because I know why the interviewer asked that question, because like it was around this part, like she asked, or whoever the interviewer was. I mean, they do have Asiatic vibes. Like just think of like old or just manga, like Japanese sort of illustrations. They have the same kind of vibe, right? So it was kind of funny how he could not see it. Right? Maybe it's like a genetic thing, who knows? Is that possible? Can genetics play a role in the way your art looks? Who knows? Yeah, a lot of these shots are like so zoomed in, and they have like this sort of blur thing, and it's hard to see. But I'll link all of this in the description below. Oh, look at that. Oh, he's using a Sharpie. I don't think so. Look at the way he's adding those brush strokes. Oh my god. Oh my, is that Wolverine? Looks like him. How did he add the gray? Did he add, is it like a wash? Let me just find that. Wait, he did something here. Or maybe the ink was just disappearing. I'm getting a bit, maybe. Oh yeah, it was probably fading away. Oh, do you see that? Oh my god, it's so like natural looking. So this one's a more like drier brush. Look at that. Oh, it's so over. So this one is more of a close-up. Thankfully we can see it like more properly. So here he is again with his mechanical pencil. With his reference photo right here. Very loose, almost scribbly. Just getting the major gestural like shapes and gestures. Then he starts with the ink. Oh, look at how thin that is. I'm not sure if he leaves the pencils in, or maybe he'll erase it. But then again, it will interfere with his, because I think he'll add like gray midtones. I'm not sure if he does it with this piece, but so his hatching kind of goes with the forms. I don't see a lot of cross hatching in his work. It just goes along with the form. And his contours, like the way, for example, the way he does the head, he doesn't do contours as much. I mean, they're there, but they're not the major thing. It's almost like he's sculpting or carving out the form with lines. I mean, he will use like contours, for example, the edge of the nose, right? But for everything inside, he likes to carve it out with a bunch of brush strokes in this kind of fluid, almost like a grass-like wave hatching, right? Just think of grass in your like yard or something. It's almost like how it's sometimes against the wind or it flows with the wind. That's how his hatching looks. It's so natural looking. Oh my god. Ooh! This guy's a freaking pro. Oh my god. Look at that. Again, look at how he was able to, like, he knows when to stop with the black. Oh, shit, he did erase. Does he add the midtones later? Oh, he doesn't? I guess you can erase the pencils, the initial like scribble marks, and then you can add in the midtones after that. That can also work. Yeah, I will also link this video, by the way, because he does, Richard Friend here, he does talk about like his earlier works, the ones that look a bit more like this, where if you look at the ink work, it's not as brushy, it's a bit more constrained, but again, it's very similar in that a lot of black is being used here. Right? Oh my god, look at that. Decepticon. Can I open? Can you zoom in? Look at that, right? And again, aside from these sort of major black like shapes, anything outside of that, look at how thin those lines are. Very minimal. And I think he kind of transferred that same vibe to his brushwork. He'll have like large portions where you see like really big brush strokes, but when he does his like contours, it's very thin. Like it's almost as if you can't even see like the line weight at that point. You will see way more variety when he like sculpts things or carve things within like the major contour of the whole character, but like the edges, it's kind of like this, very thin. I mean, I'm sure there's a bit of line weight, but it's not as like strong, right? Can we zoom in? Oh my god. Look at those hands. Even the way the mask here. Is he wearing a mask? Or is he burned or something? She's hot. Look at those folds. Again, look at the way the edge of those shadows are where it meets the light. Like it doesn't break. It's all like one fluid thing. Again, you see this a lot. Like if you go to Photoshop and add like maybe some kind of filter, it can end up this way, right? Like a threshold filter or something. It looks like it was done with the lasso fill. It's so interesting. So anyway, that's it for this art review of Jae Lee. I will link all of the links in the description below. Oh my god. Oh, wait. This guy. I think this is Doctor Doom from the Fantastic Four. Am I right? Fantastic Four? But I do like this a little more. Oh, Spider-Man. Right? Those black marks look so good. Again, knowing where to leave out the knowing where to not touch the whites and just kind of, because they do give that reflective element, right? Oh, it's so good. So anyway, that's it for this art review. I hope you enjoyed. And if you're really interested or if you really want to work on your inking skills, I do recommend, you know, I've done a lot of videos recently focusing on like artists who like to use a lot of black in their work. So basically inked work, right? And I think Jae Lee is a great addition to that. Especially this style where it's a bit more brushy, a bit more playful, a bit more not impressionistic, it's more just natural looking, right? So yeah, that's it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.